Hello and welcome. I'm Lloyd. This is the Dressing Gown Diary and its sombre tones. The reason being, if you're an England fan, the loss to Wales in round 3 was like a dagger through your heart. Decisions going against you, calls all over the shop, poor performance. But from a Welshman's point of view, it was epic! A magnificent result. Wales victorious in Cardiff yet again. Wales turning into a team that are very, very clinical. They're streetwise as well. They take their opportunities. Yes, there are question marks over the first 2 tries. But, if you want to go into it, why did Gartes have to have those discussions with Farrell for Josh Adams' try? He did because England had infringed so many times. It's like England players don't know what they're doing. Gartes is big on crossing the line out. Itoje gave away 3 penalties doing exactly that. It must drive the management crazy. You work hard all week knowing you need to limit your mistakes, and then you make many that are avoidable. Johnny Hill, what were you doing diving through? England did, however, fight back. They got themselves to 24 all with 62 minutes and then gave away 3 stupid penalties and then probably conceded Wales' best try with Corey Hill coming around the corner and smashing straight through Slade. But there were so many individual mistakes. Elliot Daly had a poor day at the office. 50th cap, knocked on twice, turned his back for Kieran Hardy's try with a little tap and go penalty. You think, what are you doing? However, there were some green shoots of recovery for England fans though. England were forced to play a little bit more expansive when they went behind, and actually with ball in hand they started to look dangerous. But why is it all going wrong? Now, those that have watched the Dressing Gown Diary throughout the season will know that I raised question marks before the tournament started as to whether you should be playing the Saracens players. A third of the England team are made up of Saracen players who look off form. They're not match ready. You can't get match fitness just playing Six Nations. You've got to have played some club rugby and they haven't played any all season. And I think that massively shows. Billy Vunipola is a player that needs consistency playing. He hasn't got it. He looks off the pace. Farrell only in fits and starts. He looked okay. Generally, should he still be playing? Is that the way England are going? Wales, on the other hand, they seem to have found a bit of form. They're being a bit more expansive with the way they're playing. They're getting some bigger units out in the wider channels. There was a great passage of play, interplay between Faletau and Tipperick down the right-hand channel, which made progress. Obviously, the question mark over whether May or Reece Zammit are quicker. I mean, Reece Zammit did only give him about a metre this time. Still gassed him. Did hog, 2 weeks before. Thank you very much. There's no question. But if you're describing to friends who don't know anything about rugby, that passage of play when Sheedy kicked through and you had Zammit chase it, you had May, Farrell, and there was one other, it might have been Slade, all of them scrabbling around for the ball bouncing. It was classic egg chasing. Very amusing. Ireland will be happy with how they progressed. They seem to find a bit of form, score some points. Wasn't what I thought might happen. I thought it would be much tighter. But they'll be happy with their progress and thinking that they get a victory against Scotland this coming weekend and then close things out against England. They'll at least recover a bit. I do feel massively sorry for Scotland though. The game cancelled against France or postponed, but there's no clear pathway of how that game is going to get played. And if Scotland will struggle with their English and French-based players who won't be available. If you lose Stuart Hogg from the Scotland side, that's a massive loss. And on the basis that France probably breached the protocol as well themselves, that they agreed with the Ministry of Sport, why is it that they can carry on and play at another time to suit them? It's not really appropriate. So you wonder whether this is going to drift into the autumn again. I suppose that's no benefit to anyone. Welshmen will hope that it'll be wrapped up, Grand Slam, done and dusted, beat Italy, beat France. Doesn't really matter. But if Wales lose to France, and you're then in a position that France are probably looking for a Grand Slam in the whenever that game against Scotland is played. So it's been another controversial weekend of Six Nations rugby, and one that Wales have found themselves on the right side of the referee. My phone was going ballistic throughout. Many people complaining about the decisions. Certainly Dave Miser, Will Brinkman and Jezza, they were not best pleased. But obviously the default position was the ref made the decisions, you've got to get on with it. As I said, England did recover, but then in those last 15, 18 minutes, they made stupid mistakes. Wales just street smart, got through, thanks very much. but it's the first time they've ever secured a bonus point against England. You could say that 2 of the tries were lucky, but they still go down on the score sheet. It also, that Corey Hill try meant that Wales secured a bonus point and England didn't secure one, so it was a big moment. But look, let's get ourselves going for the weekend. I'll be back on Friday with the boys back in town. I'm sure it'll be a lively affair, but for now, enjoy the rest of your week, concentrate on what's going to happen at the weekend, and we'll see you on the other side. Cheers.